Hello everybody, I'm going to be explaining the goal form listener submit this right here, and I'll give you a rundown through all the code and show you guys how everything works. And so first of all, in the beginning of this video, we're going to first explain the submit. So this is where the first function goes into place to see where you're going to submit the form, and then have the process when you hit enter so the function works. So in that place, that will take place. And then obviously, you know, it's gonna go through some errors, and then so that's why there's the trim, and I'll be explaining all that in just a minute. So to prevent everything, that's why we have the prevent default right here. So that will prevent any effects going to place when you hit submit, and it'll automatically run the code. And then the goal values right here, this is what you put into a number right here, values, number, trim will be it will edit all your code to make sure it will run smoothly. And then the last thing that I want to talk about this brief code right here is the goal text input value. So to process this data, there is strings to align with this code. So it will you know, like I mentioned in place, take the value of the number, trim it, and then make sure the code all works. And let me show you the code. So that's the code up top right here, and then going to the bottom, you can see count and all that stuff. All right, and then I want to briefly explain my part of the flow chart. Just a moment. So this flow chart right here, so this is the start, the click, add meal tab, you know, the display totals, show calories, update dashboards. That's a really important part of my task. You know, whatever I put into the code is going to come out. And to make that change, we had a couple things in place for the code, the weekly calories in versus out, and then the function for the weekly charts. So to make that all happen, you have to go through the code and then make sure it updates the dashboard, because once you go through the topic into the text, you have to make sure it goes back to the dashboard and then updates everything, and then it stops. So that's a quick function of how my code works, and have a good day.